Hey everybody, Scott Oden coming at you. In this video, we are going to be talking about the transition and more specifically, how you pressure the ground as you work through that transition part of your swing. All right, everybody, Scott Oden coming at you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We are continuing on building your golf swing. We are going to move into part 3/A because we're going to be covering the transition of your swing. And there's a couple parts that we want to talk about, and I want to give them each their own attention because they are important in their own right. So today we're going to talk about how you pressure the ground. Make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of the transition and how everything relates, because you're going to want to know that, because it all clicks together, gets you set up for your downswing, and you're ready to smash the ball as you're going forward. So make sure you click that subscribe button and you won't miss out on any of it. As we continue though, today we are going to be working with how we pressure the ground. So what is the transition is the first thing we want to cover. The transition is, I've taken the golf club away. I'm going to be taking the golf club to the top and moving into the downstroke. So we're going from backswing, finishing your backswing, moving into the downswing. With that part of the swing, there's a couple things that are going on. If you do them right, your downswing gets really easy and you're really in good shape. You have just one or two minor things to worry about and you'll be ready to go. It helps when you're working with the backswing too, because you can start to really feel some of these things. It's a lot slower, a lot more deliberate. And again, you're setting yourself up for a really good downswing, so everything will just click. Now let's talk about the footwork, all right? If we're gonna go with footwork to get to the top of the swing, let's go from the beginning. If I have footwork here, you're gonna be about 50-50 on how you pressure the ground. In my feet, I feel my feet pushing into the ground. You could be 60-40 on your front foot because of, you're hitting an iron. It's close to 50-50. So for our purposes, we're going to say 50-50. We are going to get set up. And as we start that transition or the takeaway part to get to the transition, what you're going to see is you're going to start feeling like you push the ground a little bit with this trail foot. But what we want to do when we go to the top of the swing is we want to crank up that pressure with our trail foot. This is what gets our body to turn. So I create turn by using the ground. I push into the ground. So what I'm doing is using my trail foot to push this direction. I'm pushing that way. So I'm pushing kind of forward and down. And that's what creates the turn back this way. Okay, so I'm going to turn back and get some depth. Okay. Now, while I do that, my my lead foot is going to be letting go of all of its pressure. So I'm going to have less pressure on my front foot. And that's where you'll see some really good players like a Jack Nicklaus. You would see that lead heel come off the ground. I feel like I get my pressure into my lead toe. You're going to see that happen. What you're looking at is how you pressure, okay, because it's going to set you up for what you're going to do in the transition. Because we get everything onto this, or almost everything onto this trail foot. We got nice turn because of that. And then what I'm going to do is just start to push with my trail foot so I can get recentered back on my lead foot. That's key. Now, I'm not taking a drastic body motion and getting over there. I'm just recentering onto this front foot. If I do that, I'm really going to be set up for a good impact moving through the downswing. So what do we want to see? Footwork in transition. Again, you're going to bring it back to get to the top. You're pushing with the trail foot. You're going to have not a lot of pressure on your lead foot because of that. You're going to recenter, and then you're ready to go from there with that rest of the swing. So that's what you want to work on. What we want to see you try is just take the club back to your takeaway, get your takeaway position. I want you to push back and recenter. Push back, recenter, okay? You're going to see your body move just a little bit, but it's not a huge drastic movement to shift to your lead side. It's just a feeling of pressure. That's going to create a little bit of body movement, but not a lot. You don't want to lose any of your angles, your bends, your tilts as you're going through because of this. So Work on your transition with your footwork. That's gonna set us up for what we do with the golf club the rest of the way. So it's really important. Make sure you're on top of how this feels. You're gonna feel athletic. Hopefully you're gonna start feeling more powerful and effortless power as you do this. That's how we move our transition pressure work here. Make sure you have that subscribe button clicked so you don't miss how the golf club's gonna move and how our body moves as we go through this. We're gonna tie them all together so you have an effective transition. You're ready to go with your golf swing as you're going through and hitting the shot. So thanks so much for subscribing. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.